I think without a doubt, the most interesting strategic moment in my career has been the couple of months that the pandemic was taking off at Zoom. So we'd been there, we'd just done the IPO. I think we'd had like a quarter of normal reporting where we'd said, we were just getting our processes set up and in place, maybe 2 quarters. And then all of a sudden it's January. You're sort of hearing about the pandemic from we actually had a significant employee base in China. And they were like, oh, have you heard about kind of the lung disease going around? And we said, no. But what we could actually see because of how broad our global customer base was, is you could see the volume of Zoom almost spiking up by the regions that were going into shutdown. And, we had plans for the year, we had guidance, and all of a sudden we had our first like $1 billion plus quarter. And I think we spent almost a $500 million in AWS that we weren't expecting. And there was a moment for me where um, I really thought about, oh my gosh, we're going to miss guidance on our gross margin. Is this a problem? And you had to step back and say, that's not what matters anymore. Zoom is actually like keeping the world afloat in a lot of ways. This is a once in a generation revenue opportunity. And what we actually need to start doing is just like looking at the shape of our business, which is changing rapidly, and reevaluating our North Star every kind of month. And so we started preparing these monthly insights for the exec team on even like we thought of ourselves as an enterprise software business, and all of a sudden we had a multi-billion-dollar consumer business out there. So we started thinking about things like how do we support them in running their businesses on Zoom, things that had never really occurred to us before without, how do you not lose sight of the longer term goal, which is to be an enterprise communications platform. And so we really had to reevaluate where we were making our bets from scratch. And I think it definitely taught me that in situations of really high growth, you need to be continually stepping back and making sure that you're not getting fixated on the minutia of a forecast and that you stay really aligned to kind of the strategic heart of your business and close to your founders and leaders on like what is changing, what do we think is most important next.